All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we got to talk. Xbox is raising the price of Game Pass again in September to $19.99. So we got to talk about this, guys. But first of all, welcome back to the channel. I know that I don't do a whole lot of Xbox content as often as I used to, and it sucks that this is the one that I'm breaking the ice with the whole Game Pass, raising the prices, but this seems newsworthy because I feel like I don't feel like the $20 is too much just yet. But I do feel like we are pushing up against that whole value proposition. So let me go ahead and break down the way I'm feeling about it right now. I have decided to at least cancel one of my Game Pass subscriptions, and it's only just because I don't use it enough. I really don't use it that often on the Xbox platform anymore. You guys, if you've been at the channel for the longest time, you know I already just buy the games. I like to just add them to my collection. So, I mean, if it's something that I want, I buy it. I don't really have a whole lot of time to go out of my way and play a whole bunch of different games. Anyways, I usually just try to stick to what I like now, and those games that interest me. So, that's something that we're going to touch on in this video today. So, so if you haven't heard, you might be getting emails right now, with warnings saying that, hey man, come September 12th, the price is going to be $19.99. And then we are going to be, having, there's going to be another entry level, like a Game Pass standard that might not get games day and date. They might come a little bit later. And it might still be, like right around like the $12.99 or whatever price they're going to bring that at. But then I'll have like spaced out titles, or maybe not even all titles are going to come to this. Maybe just games at a later date are going to start coming to that. I don't necessarily think that's a bad deal, to be completely honest. And I might actually just downgrade to that service so that I can keep paying in and paying forward, so that so that other people that are kind of less fortunate can still get the opportunity to play games. I'm not opposed to supporting the things that I think are good and that I think add to the overall gaming. But when it starts to get to a point where they're just raising the price more and more and more to try to suck the life out of the people that are there and that are paying for the service and that are enjoying it, as opposed to keeping the prices low and trying to continue to get people to join and come on, those subscriptions are going to come. With games like Call of Duty, with Indiana Jones, with all these other games, those subscriptions are going to come. They're just not going to pile on. Like everybody, you've got the whole media, you've got the PlayStation fanboys, you've got everybody that has just been 100% negative toward Game Pass since its inception. So you have a lot of that. You have a lot of people that are on the fence, not knowing like, oh my gosh, is this real? Is this going to stay like that? I get it. There's just so much negativity and pushback towards Xbox, no matter what they do. I mean, like, we've got literal freaking game developers that are leaving Insomniac and going to work at CDPR, and nothing but fluff pieces from the corrupt gaming media, talking about, yeah, man, they've already finished their job and they're just moving on. And it's like, no, man, if like it doesn't never make sense, dude. It never freaking pans out. It never equals out to the point where the people, the way these journalists and stuff come down and they talk about Xbox is just incredibly biased. It's bad. Like it is bad. Once you start doing a channel and you start talking about games and doing stuff, you really do start to look at things a lot different. And you're like, wow, this has definitely not been fair for Xbox at all. We've got a lot of good games coming to Xbox, and those games might 100% justify the price increase to Xbox Game Pass. But at the same time, we've also gotten Redfall. We've also gotten, just recently Hellblade 2. Like, not terrible games, but not exactly what you would call a banger. And optics matter, my friends. Optics do matter. They're always going to matter. Do I feel that the quality of games of Game Pass have been okay? Absolutely. I for $20 a month, even, we've been paying what, $15, $16.99 for almost a year now. And you look at that and you look at the quality and the amount of games that have come to Game Pass, and you're like, yeah, I mean, definitely. Like you're paying a subscription service, you get to play all these games, you get access to them, you get your online, all of that stuff. So yeah, it's definitely been worth it, especially for the people that have time to play the games. But let me get back to the whole point about me maybe not, keeping both of my subscriptions. I just personally don't have the time to get the value out of that. I don't. I buy all my games. I've been mainly gaming on PC a lot more lately, and you guys know that. Obviously, if you've been here at the channel and you're an Xbox fan, you know that I've been playing mainly on PC. I get on these Steam sales. I buy a bunch of games. I literally am just adding games to my backlog that I have probably zero intention of playing through. Again, like they come out, they're like $4, and I buy it. I'm just like, ooh, that's a low price, and that's a good game, so I keep buying them. I'll play them for a little while. Some of them I actually have gotten into and played a little bit more, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to balance, being interested in playing like the newer games while also being able to go back and check out some of these older games that, maybe ran 1080p on my Xbox One or my PlayStation 4, or they were 30 frames per second, or they had like low medium preset for overall visual quality, So I go back and I look at some of these games on the PC, running them at like maximum settings at 4K resolution with everything turned on at the highest frame rate I can get, and truly looking at the alternate reality of what that game could have actually played like the day it came out had I had already been like a PC gamer. So that right there, guys, that's something that's been a long-term thing for me lately, is kind of going back and looking. That's why I buy a lot of these older games. I may not buy them with the intention of beating them, but I do buy them with the intention of, comparing and contrasting that experience that I used to have to the experience that I could have now. And it also gives me kind of an insight into the games that I'm buying now today that are brand new, how they're going to play in 2 or 3 generations as I continue to upgrade my PC hardware. And, it's crazy, guys. PC gaming has opened up this whole new world of experience to me as a gamer, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I know that there's all those stereotypes about, oh, well, PC this and PC that, and it's so expensive. And my friends, just a low level PC coming into PC gaming is absolutely going to blow your freaking mind. Just the amount of freedom and everything that you get with PC and just what you can do. And I recommend, I highly recommend, once you go PC, you go back and you play some of them older games that you loved. Some of them ones that were 30 frames a second and you struggled to get through, but you got through, and you go play some of those games with the maximum settings. And then you'll understand, you'll see that, wow, man, the games were awesome when we played them on console. They were. We played them. I loved them. I love a lot of games. But then I go back and I see them in all their glory, and I'm like, wow, these games are absolute freaking masterpieces. The things that they could do is just incredible, especially 360 generation games. Oh my gosh, man. The level of detail that those games actually had that we just couldn't get on our consoles is incredible, is literally incredible sometimes. So I want you guys to think about this, because obviously we're going to get a lot of pushback for this as an Xbox community. We're going to get a lot of pushback against the price hikes. They're right in line with what PlayStation is charging now for PlayStation Premium, $20 a month. I personally, like I've said before, I feel like this is starting to get to the point where anymore, and it's going to start to get uncomfortable for a lot of people, especially if you're one of them older people that just don't have the time to invest in all these games. And then it kind of gets distracting, and it kind of pulls you away from the stuff that you want to play, that you want to finish. That could be a major factor. I do kind of see a point where Game Pass can start to have a negative impact on your gaming habits. And even on your ability to actually finish some of the stuff that you start. If you're playing something and something else comes along and you want to play that, or because you get this mindset. I feel that, am I getting my money's worth? I mean, obviously you are. If you play one game a month on there, any new AAA banger that's $70, if you play just one of those a month, obviously you're getting your money's worth. But there's this point where your mindset flips and you're like, okay, am I getting my money's worth? I'm paying this, I'm paying it. I want this, I want that, I want this. And then you start to divide your overall attention towards all these different games and all these different experiences that you might just, it starts to have a negative effect. It'll start to have a negative effect on your gaming and everything else. So yeah, I think that $20 is still fine. But I do think it's starting to get closer to being uncomfortable for a lot of people. And Microsoft should probably, I think they should have, I think they should have rewarded people with Call of Duty before they even considered raising these prices, because this looks like what they did last time with Starfield. They raised the price, then we got Starfield. And now they're raising the price again, and then we'll get Call of Duty like a couple months later. So at the end of the day, unless they're going to really start being able to put out a game like every month at $20 a month, like I really do think that they're putting themselves in a position to where the expectations are going to continue to outpace what Microsoft is going to be able to deliver with Game Pass. They are setting a precedent and raising the expectations from gamers higher and higher every time they raise these prices. Every time they increase the price of Game Pass, the expectations go higher. And I get it, you know, it was easy to be Mr. Oh yeah, we're Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Microsoft, we got money in the bank, we could charge you $10 and give you all these games in Game Pass. When they were giving us stuff like Sea of Thieves and Crackdown 3, yeah, that was no problem. I mean, you know, we were getting like Recore and everything, and I was like, yay, we're getting Game Pass. And now that they're actually starting to bring better games, or the perception of better games are coming, the price is starting to creep up. And I mean, the ponies warned us. And, you know, I mean, we did kind of see it coming. And my mindset was like, dude, I don't think Microsoft would be dumb enough to do that. But yeah, man, we're talking about Microsoft here, man. They don't always make the best decisions. And maybe that's why we love them, you know? I mean, maybe that's why we love them. I don't know. I'm not sitting here trying to damage control for it. Like, $20 is starting to get uncomfortable. I'm not going to damage control this. You're going to have to make your own decision. Is this still going to continue to be worth it for you? And yeah, I don't know, man. To me, $20 is, if I was only playing on Game Pass, absolutely not, no questions asked. Like, yeah, that's an incredible deal. But I mean, I do like to buy my games, and the only thing that I could see going forward, if I continue to pay for Game Pass, is pretty much to just stop buying the games and just use Game Pass. And so that kind of creates like this thing. It's like, dude, if I'm paying $20 a month, I'm gonna stop buying these games. Like I buy them when they come out, and then I still pay for the Game Pass. So it's like one or the other. If they're going to keep raising the price of Game Pass, then I'm going to have to make a cut somewhere. Just like they cut a whole bunch of employees, I'm going to have to make a cut somewhere too in my budget. And it sucks. What do? Do I cut the full price out and just play the games on $20 a month? Because that's an incredible deal. Or do I just continue to only buy the games that I want going forward? It's pretty much plain and simple, at least for me, in what I'm thinking. So, all right, my friends, I hope I gave you something to think about. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments section. I want to know what you guys are feeling about this, because it kind of feels like a bait and switch sometimes. It really does, man. We get like these weird games that come out, you know, Recores and Crackdown 3s and Sea of Thieves and all of that stuff. And the price is fine, and it's like, yeah, man, this is good. And then every time we start to get a higher level tier of games, the price starts to go up. And yeah, dude, a lot of people said that to expect this, and to some extent I did. But at the same time, I didn't really think that Xbox was going to be dumb enough to pull the trigger on this. But yeah, they did, and I think they are going to lose subs over this. And hopefully things turn out. Hopefully things pan out. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.